So what if our entire global civilization, everything we know, everything we've built, could just collapse in a single hour? Well, there's an ancient prophecy that talks about exactly that. It calls this worldwide system Great Babylon and foretells its sudden, absolutely catastrophic end. It's an incredible story of power, wealth, and a final judgment that changes everything.
All right, so here's our roadmap for this explainer. We're going to dive into what this Babylon really is, uncover the specific sins that lead to its downfall, witness just how fast it all happens, and then, finally, really get to the heart of what this prophecy means for the future.
So, first things first, what exactly is this Babylon? Now, we're not talking about the ancient ruins you can find in Iraq. No, in this prophecy, the name is being used as a really powerful symbol for something much, much bigger, something that exists on a global scale.
Yeah, Great Babylon is basically the prophecy's code name for our entire interconnected world system. You know, the whole shebang: commerce, culture, finance, power. And this is key. It means its judgment isn't some local disaster, it's a total worldwide collapse.
And the prophecy gets pretty specific about how bad things get. It describes this global system as becoming completely spiritually corrupt. We're not just talking about a few bad actors here. The very foundations of society become, and this is a direct quote, a dwelling place for demons. A system that's actively hostile to anything good.
Okay, so what could a whole civilization possibly do to deserve a judgment this final? Well, the prophecy doesn't leave us guessing. It lays out a specific indictment, like a list of charges that finally reach a breaking point. And these charges are heavy. Babylon is accused of just breathtaking arrogance against God, an obsession with luxury and self-indulgence, and using its influence to deceive entire nations. It even gets the world to worship the system itself, while coming down hard on anyone who refuses to play along.
But at its very core, Babylon's biggest sin is commerce without a conscience. It creates a global marketplace where literally everything has a price tag, from gold and spices to, well, something far more sinister.
And this is the final charge, the most damning one of all. The system becomes so corrupt that human life itself is just another commodity. People are just products to be bought and sold. The ultimate sin of this world system is that it traffics in the bodies and even the very souls of human beings. So, with an indictment like that, you'd expect the judgment to be extreme, and it is. But what's truly mind-blowing isn't just how severe it is, but its unbelievable speed.
1 hour. Just let that sink in for a second. In about the time it takes to watch an episode of a show on TV, the entire global economic engine, this thing that's been built up for centuries, is utterly wiped out. All the wealth of the world, gone. Just like that.
The prophecy uses this incredibly violent and final image to drive the point home. It's like a giant millstone being thrown into the deepest part of the ocean. The system doesn't just crumble or fall into ruin, it is erased, wiped from existence, never, ever to be found again.
Now, the fall of this global city, as you can imagine, causes two very, very different reactions. Down on Earth, it's total shock and horror, but up in heaven, the response is the complete opposite. And here you see that stark contrast. On Earth, all the kings and the merchants, everyone who got rich off this corrupt system, they weep because their entire world has just vanished. But in heaven, there's a massive celebration because justice has finally been served.
The destruction is just absolute. It's more than just an economic collapse. The very pulse of human civilization stops. The sound of music, the work of craftsmen, the light from a lamp, even the happy sounds of a wedding, all of it is silenced, forever.
So, where does this unbelievably dramatic event fit into the bigger prophetic picture? Well, its timing is absolutely crucial, and it tells us everything we need to know about its purpose.
Okay, understanding the sequence here is the key. The fall of Babylon isn't the beginning of the end. It is the end of the end. It happens right at the climax of that prophesied 7-year period of global chaos, literally just before the second coming of Christ.
And that's what it all comes down to. At the end of the day, the fall of Babylon is the climax of human history as we know it. It represents God's final, total, and absolute judgment on a global civilization that had become hopelessly corrupt, materialistic, and openly hostile towards him.
So all of this leaves us with a huge thought-provoking question. If a world built entirely on buying and selling, even selling human souls, is completely wiped away, what do you build the next world on? It's a question that really forces us to think about what we value right here and right now.